Hi there. In case you didn't know, I'm Jazz, and this is my YouTube channel. I just kind of figured it was about time to introduce myself properly and do, a video where I talk about things or something like that. I don't know. Right, for starters, I am 18 years old, and I currently live in Lowell, Massachusetts with my parents in USA, in case you couldn't tell from my lack of accent. During the school year, I go to college in Boston, which is larger and far superior to Lowell. I guess I should probably talk about how I got into making music. I used to play the piano for a while. I loved it, but I never really got great at it. I was never spectacular. Then sort of recently, I rediscovered a musician that I hadn't listened to in a couple years. It was Tom Milsom. The first video I ever put up on this channel was a cover of one of his songs. My friend introduced me to him a while ago. My friend Hunter, she's great, and made me a CD and all that, and I never really listened to it. I went to college, and I actually ended up making friends with huge nerds, and they actually turned me on to Charlie McDonnell, also known as Charlie Is So Cool Like on YouTube. For a while, Charlie was in a band called Sons of Admirals, which, if you don't know, featured 4 YouTube musicians, who's Charlie McDonnell, Alex Day, Ed Plant, and Tom Milsom, conveniently enough. So I'd been listening to Sons of Admirals and realized, hey, I have Tom Milsom's CD. That's pretty cool. So I started listening to his music again, and once again got really into it. And one of the many instruments that Tom is really good at is the ukulele, which Charlie McDonnell also plays, and I figured it would be really cool if I had one, because the ukulele is a really great instrument. And 3 days later, I went out and bought a ukulele. And I taught myself some chords on it, learned a few songs, and it was cool. I could play covers of songs. And Mixtape was the first song I ever learned on it because it was my favorite song by Tom Milsom. And then a couple weeks later, we started learning about one-way ANOVAs in my math class. Yes, that does seem very random and unrelated. However, ANOVAs are very, very key to this story, mostly because they are completely and utterly boring, and I don't understand them at all. We started learning about ANOVAs, and I didn't get it. And what do you do when you don't understand something right away? You ignore it. You push it off to the side, and you leave it alone forever. So what I did with ANOVAs is I left it alone forever. I would write down the notes on the board and, try to listen to my teacher a little bit, but it was useless because I didn't get it. And, I went to a tutor, and I tried really hard. I really did. I tried hard to get it, but I didn't. So I did what any non-math major would do in a math class they didn't understand. I started to write. And it would just be like little lines from songs that I knew already, or, lines from my favorite poems and stuff. And then it actually all started with a text message I got from my friend Brandon. He sent me the text. It said, "Good morning to you, comrade." And that pretty much started the first line of a song that I wrote that day in class about communism and how great it is to be a communist. It's just kind of a funny little song. It doesn't actually have any meaning, really, but I thought it was funny. And I showed it to my friends, and they thought it was like really cool. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna write some chords to go with it. So I wrote some chords, and I played it for them again, and they were like, yeah, this is awesome, let's be a band. And so now I'm sort of in a band called Verbing Proper Nouns. Guess a little brief history of that is basically what it sounds like. All the pop punk bands have names that are a verb with ing and then a proper noun. That's basically it. Thought it was clever because we're pretty English nerdy type people, so I thought that was funny. So yeah, I wrote a song about communism. The next day in class I wrote a song about a person being stalked by a peeping Tom. Neither of which anyone other than a couple of my friends have heard. I guess that's about it. That's all you really need to know about me for now, unless you guys have like burning questions or something, which I doubt because probably no one's even gonna watch this. Anyway, so if you do have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Or I'm going to put a link in the little doobly-doo underneath to my Tumblr, and you can ask me questions there as well. I'm ifacarcamefromnowhere.tumblr.com, and I will answer your questions as best as I can. So for now, just enjoy.